listening to Opie and Anthony. On the Virus, Sirius XM.
God damn, is she looking good?
Yeah,
she
she does. She looks hot in grief.
She looks hot in grief?
Yeah. Guys, I got to get out here, actually.
I got to go.
Right. Bobby, she'll take your seat.
I'll see you guys later.
All right, Bobby. Thank you for coming in.
Right. Bye, Bobby. Bye, guys.
Take it easy, Bobby. Go break a leg.
Hi, Amy.
Amy.
Hey.
How are you? Bobby warmed up the chair for you. I'm sure it's sweaty.
Hi, honey.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Amy.
So
Hi.
Kirk writes all your jokes?
Yeah.
That's what he was just saying.
That's right, just the ones that get me in trouble.
I go, Amy's coat is more manly than Colin's.
Oh,
it really is.
These are my lovely coat today.
Well, look at it.
Amy,
You want to take a look at his coat?
P for pussy.
I think Colin's going for the
You're
distinguished.
like Paddington Bear.
Right, you're a distinguished gentleman's coat.
Yeah.
That's what he's going for. What do you think?
Gentlemen.
Yeah, he's definitely hitting the nail on the head there.
Show with a nice collar buckle.
Yeah.
It does. It has like a collar
It's a
buckle.
handy ball gag.
No
buckle.
longer a man.
You guys really should switch coats when we're done here today.
Yeah. Do
Why are you
mind?
holding your coat? Because everyone asked me to show it to Amy. I was just displaying it. I was doing what I was
Colin, you want me to hang up the coat?
You think someone's going
I
to
was
steal it?
wondering why in the middle of this, like, trashing, you weren't just sitting there scowling at me.
He was
What's his fucking problem, man?
He was waiting his turn. He was.
But you know what Billy was
revving
saying
up.
about Patrice?
Yeah.
I was thinking, that just reminded me when we started doing the show, and before we did Tough Crowd, we did it on NBC a couple of times. And I remember I was always like, oh, don't leave him alone. You know, he was just like so new to the business. It was like the only thing he'd ever had. And I knew, like, don't leave him alone with any of these fucking NBC executives.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And then I remember one time just walking in it, and it was like a soundproof office. Like every time I left him alone with Lauren, anybody, something horrible would happen. But just a soundproof office. And it was like some guy from the West Coast was in town. And it was just him and the guy on the West Coast. And he was sitting there, and I looked over at the guy, and he had this horrified look on his face. And Patrice was talking as if, yeah, there were a couple of guys having a conversation. And I just walked in, and I heard, like, pussy and bitches. Like, he was just, like, spouting to this, like, white guy in his 50s in a fucking suit. But it's just like as if he's having a conversation, fucking, you know, Will at the cellar. And it's just like, and the guy just had this horrified, like, his face was pasty white. You get no respect.
No. That's what he would do, though.
Yeah.
That's a pretty accurate description. He gave him no respect.
Right, yeah.
People that didn't deserve it.
Another
No.
big producer once. I remember at the cellar, this guy was doing like a movie, and it was like, hey Patrice, like, and I thought I still said there had to be a slight scintilla of non-destructiveness. I go, Patrice, this guy's doing it, and the guy goes, hi, I heard a lot about you. And Patrice is at the bar at the cellar, and he turns around like fucking royalty, like this, and then just turns away.
A little dainty handshake.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. He drove me out to one of Ant's barbecues one time. He's like, I'll pick you up. And I was so touched that he was giving me a ride that I spent 2 hours making him these rap CDs. I made him like 3.
What are you doing,
Oh, my God. Colin, give him your code. Give him your code.
Did you talk in between songs, too?
A personal story before every song.
Wow, Joe.
I made him 3 rap CDs. I was like, these are songs he probably doesn't have. He'll
Now,
appreciate
Jerry,
this.
I imagine the band striking up the music.
Oh, what a
Oh, Jesus Christ. A
Like,
mixtape for Patrice.
Trying to do this now.
I can't.
What were some of the songs on there?
It was all rap songs.
Give me a couple.
They were all like.
I Need
like
Love
you're gonna
by
know any
Cool
of it.
J.
Yeah, I Need Love by Cool J.
Doing it.
Yeah, doing it well. Hey Love. Yeah.
You can do
Some
it,
Boys
put your
to
back
Men.
into it.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. No, I made him like, I was like, dude,
God,
I appreciate you giving me a ride, man. I know you're not going to take gas money. I made you these, I thought you might enjoy these for when you're driving around.
gas money.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, all right, like that, right?
Because you came out of the closet to him, dude. That's why.
That's a long ride.
Oh, God damn.
He put every CD, I swear to God, every CD he put it in back to back, and he just sat there, 2 seconds of each song, you go.
Oh, shit. Next.
Literally through each CD, and he goes, I mean, Joe, goddamn, I mean,
you didn't appreciate that.
I appreciate the gesture and all, I guess, but
you didn't recognize that you're a white rap historian. Wow.
Yeah, I think there were.
This is twin hype, Patrice, in the '90s.
I think there was that he called me cracker a few times in between songs, and but the funny is that when he found out I was Egyptian, he'd call me up, like, on Thanksgiving. He'd be like, Joe, you want to come over for Thanksgiving? I go, I can't. I'm doing stuff with my family. He goes, you know what, Joe? I'm tired of you pretending you're white. And he'd go, everybody knows you're a dirty nigger African, just like the rest of us.
I remember when I sent Patrice a text that I was having a kid. He calls up. I see him call him. I think he's going to graduate. He's like, the first thing he says, please tell me the bitch is white. That's all he said.
Shit.
I'll never forget, I was at the comic strip Christmas party, and I brought this girl in. She was really hot, and Patrice is just looking her up and down. He goes, you got this in the bag? I go, yeah. He goes, so I could say whatever I want? I go, yeah. He goes, you sure? I don't want to ruin it for you.
Why would you say yeah? Why would you say yeah?
I was like, no, it's fine. So he just went over. He goes, you like this guy? And she's like, yeah, he's really funny. He's like, do you know his opening joke is the difference between alcohol and marijuana? You realize that? She's like, yeah, he's really funny. Yeah, I know that one. That's good. You realize he does voices of puppets on TV. That's like my favorite show. And he goes, you're just a dumb bitch. And the girl's like, how can you say he's your friend? I'm like, he's joking. She's like, how is that a joke? He just called me a dumb bitch.
Holy fucking A.
He ended a couple of my relationships early.
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
Early.
Just, you'd see him get that look in his eye, like, and you didn't know what mood Patrice was going to be, and he could be the most lovely, like, little angel, or just, he would just slowly turn. It was like slow-mo, and I saw him sizing up the dude I was with, and I'm like, no, running over. It was too late. Just trashed this guy's life. The guy, I don't think he ever got an erection again. I'm serious.
I went to a dinner party one time. We used to have the same manager, and they invited us to this dinner party. I showed up with a second date with the girl, and I was trying so hard to impress her. I walk in with her. Patrice goes, hey, what's up, Joe? Who's this? And I go, it's Melissa. And he goes, hey, Melissa, did you fuck him yet? Oh, did you fuck Joe yet? And she goes, no. And he goes, you should fuck him. He's a good dude. Fuck this dude. And I'm like, all right, let's have hors d'oeuvres now.
Obviously, Amy Schumer is here, and now Louis C.K. has entered the studio.
Hey, Louis.
Morning, guys.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Like everybody that twittered yesterday.
Yeah. I didn't
Amazing.
tweet.
You didn't tweet?
No. I always feel phony.
Phony? Really?
Well, the thing, my heart goes at.
Well, yeah, it depends on. Well, if you word it like Colin, then it comes off as insensitive and hacked.
No, put on Colin's coat and say it.
No, it's not that it's phony at all. It's just to me,
It's just not your thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I never tweet about anything, and so.
And all of a sudden you get a tweet about something like.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I don't do it. Because I don't love anybody that much. I don't care.
Wait till you see Colin's coat.
I made a witty remark.
Oh, boy, he's defending it.
At the beginning of my witticism, I happened to throw in Patrice's one of a kind. So, you kind of let it
one of
fly.
a kind.
Right.
So then
They
Bill
broke
Burr
the
just calls on
mold.
the phone and he's from the airport. Mm-hmm. And goes, yeah, I don't want to leave any tweet like some one of a kind, some hack fucking quote. And I thought at first he saw my quote and was busting my balls, but he was just saying,
He really meant it.
Worse.
Even worse, he really meant it, not knowing what you wrote.
Terrible.
How about the fact that he didn't know what you even wrote?
No.
Yeah.
No idea.
That's
and he didn't
insensitive.
bother to investigate the full thing that I wrote. That's what hurt the most.
True. He just picked out the one hack.
One.
Showing your age part.
I told my kids this morning about Patrice, and and I listened to because I told them I'm going here afterwards, and then all his friends are going to be here, and so I turned it on, and there's fucking. Is he here still, Bobby? Did he leave?
Bobby
just left.
Yeah.
I turn on it, and he's not even saying anything. He's just we're all at the fucking cellar last night, and he's just telling a story. he could be saying anything. He's like, what the fucking Sally and fucking what's his name is there and fucking. He's not upset. He's not. It's just this shit that comes out of his fucking mouth.
I think he just caught a pop.
And my daughters are 6 and 9, and I'm going, I'm trying to ride the fucking volume. And they can't enjoy people's emotions about their fucking past friend because of this fucking. And so they go like, why does he? They had to ask like, why does this person? Because it sounds crazy.
Yeah, of course.
If you don't listen to it all the time, it's like, what's wrong with this? It's beyond Tourette's. It's like
that's so odd because here, when he was here talking into the mic, you don't realize it because
he says
here.
fuck a lot.
But I guess
Bobby
if you're listening to it on the radio, you really, especially with children,
right? But I explained to them that Patrice and Bobby and I came from Boston, and that there was. I told them what it's like to do comedy there. That there's drunk Irish people. I'm teaching them stereotypes. The Irish Bostonians get wasted and they sing na 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 hey you got to chant it off stage, and so people had different ways to survive that. And Bobby's was, I explained to the kids the difference between, like, you're trying to tell a story. So I went to the store, and the guy there was really mean to me. Right. Nobody's listening. They're throwing stuff at you. But I went to the fucking store, and the fucking guy was a fucking asshole. Like, it's a way of charging through the shit. Like, that's what turns guys like that.
Oh, shit.
And then Patrice was just this a mountain that sat on stage. He was just a mountain. Whole other approach to being listened to by those audiences.
Yeah.
Bostonians terrified of giant black men.
Yeah, just a huge presence.
Did you start out with him
on the stage?
No, he came up after I'd left Boston, and then he just showed up here as this Boston, young, enormous Boston guy.
Bigger than life. He's just,
he didn't have to move around on stage or anything.
He just so last time I saw him on stage, we did the Nasty Show in Chicago at the Vic Theater, and it was me and him and Nick DiPaolo. Were you on that show? I don't remember if you were.
What year was it?
I
did that with Geraldo and Patrice like a year and a half ago. I don't know if I was on that one.
But he closed the show. I hosted it, and he went on last. And he was, it's just, he would just stand there and fucking, he was really starting to hit a stride, too. He was getting great. I mean, he's always been one of my favorite comedians, like always in like the top 3 since I first saw him. Wow. But in the last few years, he just started to get great. Like, he figured it. Every comedian hits some point where they figure out their thing. Like, they do the Hellraiser box, they click it right, and it starts fucking, everybody starts coming out of the doors, pinhead and everybody, and he just hit that. I mean, just that last special was incredible. He was just starting to figure out how to make his thing really work.
Yeah, but, and off stage, to be able to do that on stage is fantastic, but then off stage, just to hang out and bullshit about stuff and make it genuinely funny. Any fucking subject that would come up in here when he was sitting here, he had something. He had at least a half hour on it.
I was trying to explain him to my kids because I want them to understand what this stuff means. Besides that, he was a big black guy and he said crazy shit. I had to I'm explaining him. I had to say that he was black at some point. Like, it didn't matter, but at some point I had to say he was a huge black guy. Like, it wasn't material to anything I had to say about him.
But you feel compelled to describe him like that. Yeah.
And also the life lesson that you got to fucking take care of yourself. But
yes, true.
Which is makes me angry at him. But it's just that's the biggest substance abuse problem amongst black people is cherry Coke. But it's still the biggest killer. But I thought of a bit that he did here that I was able to explain to them, and for a 6 and a 9-year-old to grasp it was kind of weird, but they got it because of his wording, which was about Plaxico or whatever the guy's name was who shot himself.
Plaxico Burress.
The thing that he said about how he was rich now, living in a mansion, and he had a choice in life. He could hang out with rich white guys and play golf, or hang out with black guys that he grew up with, but who are fun. But in order to do that, he had to carry a gun because those guys are fucking stupid and they all carry weapons. So like live amongst your own, but he's not stupid. He's rich now. So he had to carry a weapon in order to hang out with his own people. That's such an acute observation. That's where he would find these like cracks in the
little things.
Oh,
yeah, no one else
God.
was thinking
and my
about.
kids were howling. They got why that was funny.
Wow.
There would be shit that like I pondered for years, and when the subject came up, I felt all good about being able to discuss it and talk about it. And then I was saying before, in one sentence, he'd wrap it up and be like, "How did I never see that?"
And he'd close the book on it.
Yeah, done.
He'd say, "That's it.
Here's what it is."
Yeah.
Then that's it.
And that's where everyone now has to refer to Patrice versus the people.
Yes, he set precedent. Patrice versus the people for racial harmony.
No, and I remember like the famous thing of him going on whatever it was on Fox News.
Yeah, we just played that. Yeah.
There's a woman who actually dresses up to go and protest a rape joke, and he makes her laugh at a rape joke.
She laughed at it. She absolutely did.
That's the power of what he did.
Yeah,
She couldn't deny it. This woman whose whole life is, I'm going to go act outraged.
Right.
Yeah. And she had to go, shit, that's
funny.
That's funny.
Blooper spots. I wonder what she's doing now. That could have been good when she went back to the office.
Changed her path.
Yeah.
She's doing stand-up comedy, all rape jokes.
He was a guy who forced people. He also didn't take any easy roads himself. Like, everybody does some bullshit version of themselves. Everybody does. I do. I have like a bunch of jokes that I know are just there because old fat, overweight, middle-aged dad. Like I got a bunch of those that I'm kind of
ace in the hole.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But he has.
I was gonna say he forced you to be honest, man.
Yeah, and he didn't do that himself. Like he was such an atypical. The first thing he ever did that I saw that made me go, "This guy is special," was his bit about how he loves the Beatles. Yeah. And the pressure as a black guy to have certain trappings, and he says, "I love the Beatles, but I can't." And he do it, this visual of him riding around in a Cadillac. We all live in a yellow submarine, look in the hood. What's up, G? Yellow submarine, yellow submarine. But that's not your typical big black guy bit.
No. We got into so many great racial conversations on this show.
Oh yeah,
and he just slammed me, and but the great thing was the second the show ended, we'd be walking down the sidewalk going to the parking garage, and he's just hey, how's your pool? What's that like, your pool and shit? That cool?
No, my favorite part of being on the show,
cool.
I loved being on when he was on, because he'd get, we would lock horns and stuff and get, I told him once I wasn't attracted sexually to black women. And he tested me for 2 hours, saying that meant I'm gay. Like, it means I'm gay. And he said, so he would go and he started doing this bit where he'd be like, please bring up, and it was like a lawyer asking for, he was like, please bring up fatbooty.com. Go to the website. He's like, really? Nothing? There's nothing that you can, you know what, bring up? Yeah.
Look at that, that's juicy.
Pissing on blacktits.net. Anything could come up and he'd go, this? You don't like this?
References, man.
But we would go at it here, and then, we'd walk. The best part, though, was walking down to the subway with him, and then we'd stand on 6th Avenue and 7th, or 57th, and just stand there for 4 hours and just talk.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And he'd say openly sexual things to every woman that walked by, and they would all smile.
You look delicious.
Yeah, he's just like, look at you with those pants. Ass, what kind of panties you got on? Pink. Bye. Good morning.
He would hold porn on a street corner.
Yeah, when we would do the walkover at the old station,
right?
And we'd be walking to XM. And Patrice would just stop and talk to any girl that was walking, and they would engage him.
Yes.
They would talk to him. And it's why aren't they running?
He would disarm you because he was funny and silly and he wasn't threatening. And
right.
it was looking at him, but you would think he would be threatening.
Right. I mean, just his physical presence would be threatening, and the ability.
Maybe that's what it was. It was the relief. It's like, oh no, here's this black guy. He's got kind of a sweet voice. I want to hug him now.
We were at the comic strip one time, and there was a girl he liked at a Christmas party, and he's trying to play hard to get. He's like, I'm not going to talk to her. And he didn't talk to her, and she didn't come over. And I said, you fucking idiot. You think that you're being, like, hard to get. She's happy you're not talking to her. She doesn't like you. He really thought that she was being intrigued by his evasiveness. He was just happy that this fucking fat creep was leaving her alone.
The ability to diffuse his physical presence with something so fast, like that quickly when he started talking to you, is amazing. Yeah. Like, because you would just look and go, big black man, must be afraid, must cross street.
He was an empathetic person, too.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what made him a great comic, is that he saw, he had insight because he was empathetic. But he was the guy who would, like, you talk to him for 5 minutes, he'd start asking you about your life. And
absolutely.
What's going on
every
with
single time.
Hey, you like your truck?
Yeah.
Be talking about my truck and stuff. Yeah, I got mine. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, really? Where is this conversation going?
You knew it wasn't a conversation. He was basically fishing for information, and when he was done, he was just going to walk away or get off the phone. It wasn't like, I really want to know about your truck. It was, I need a piece of this and a piece of that, and then I'm done with it.
That's right. That's right. I'm going to put on my bowler hat and go.
Mr. Cotton Club.
Yeah, a lot of looks.
Oh, fuck.
Remember, he pulled off the Pink Panther pink shirt?
How we didn't rip him apart.
We tried, too, man.
Yeah, he was wearing a Pink Panther
pink shirt with the Pink Panther on there.
What the fuck? Only he could get away with that?
Holy
Walking
fuck.
in here with that shit on.
It had the Pink Panther on it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It had, what? Sequins on it,
with
too.
sequins and glitter and... Oh, what the fuck he was trying to pull off with that one.
We tried. we didn't get the best of him that day.
Dude, one of the funniest days in here ever was he was in here and we started talking about food from around the country, and he started trashing every city's food. And he's going, Chicago deep dish pizza stinks. It fucking stinks. And the phones are just fucking lighting up.
The whole world is hating on him.
Yeah, Texas barbecue. Oh, we got the best barbecue. Right. Fuck your barbecue. Fucking.
He took them all on. Oh, man.
Oh my God, it was hilarious.
Fuck yeah. So many good fucking.
But it's memories. Like I was saying, like every subject we came up with half hour. When one of the funniest things was when we were talking about the cruise ship deaths and how it's just so easy to kill your significant other on a cruise ship. They circle around 3 times and then leave the scene of the crime.
You just got to push them overboard. No evidence.
In a giant ocean, and he like took it the extra step to do the Rasta man selling rock coats to your significant other. Buy a rock coat, man, and you put it on and then push your loved one over the edge, and they just sink right to the bottom. Fucking hilarious.
They even did that to Bin Laden. That's even how they got rid of him.
Get rid of him. You're never going to find him. It's the ocean.
The ocean.
Yeah. But people were bringing up so many things, and there's just, like I said, literally, if you strung them back-to-back, days worth of shit that is just material that isn't stuff on stage. It's, you know, it's just conversation.
Most of the stuff he didn't even do in his act.
No.
Right.
It's just him
well, that's
talking.
the beauty of it. I mean, not to kiss your asses, but that's the beauty of you guys. Most of the stuff you do on our show, you don't do on stage.
Yeah. Kurt only does material in here.
Yeah.
That's all he does.
I only talk about Joe's fucking little fat tits on my act. I see no reason to change it just because I'm on the radio.
That's the name of your new album, Joe's Little Fat Tits. Right?
Hey, that was for my.
Be quiet, Louis' kids are listening.
Explain to your kids why they can spell better than Bobby.
Yeah, I love how. No, I heard that. He called you a nerd because of how he spelled past.
Yeah.
P-A-S-T. You're a nerd. Like, you only Bill Gates and Stephen Hawking and Jim Norton know how to spell fucking pass.
P-A-S-S-E-D.
He passed. That's like a caveman talking. He passed.
He passed me,
It's
future.
like a weird, it's like a E. E. Cummings poem about a dead guy. He passed. Fucking moron.
Hey, you nerd. Yeah, sorry for paying attention at school.
Tries to turn it around on him like, oh, you're one of those guys.
Like it was a basic spelling error that everybody makes in a long and complicated word. Like, this is not a PH in the middle of a word, you asshole. This is 5-year-olds can spell this right.
Yeah, it's not even like laugh with a GH. There's no silent letters.
Yeah.
I get the same one.
Idiot.
He spells Y-A.
Yep.
So he'll text you.
The same one.
Yeah.
Did it happen? Oh, you got this? He wrote the same thing to you?
Yeah, sure.
Moron. And it's not a spell check thing.
No,
of course it's not.
You don't
blames it all the time.
go over to the T. It's a whole other part of the.
Yes.
It's geographically very far. From 2 S's and an ED.
You can definitely tell if somebody fucked up or if the iPhone fucked up.
You know what? You're right, and I wish I would have called him on that because it annoyed me when he said spell check. It's like there's more letters than the other one. We all
Well,
knew.
also, when somebody's defending themselves and they use 2 different defenses.
Yeah, he also
the first
said,
one was, well, who knows how to spell pass? That's like a Latin verb. That's where he starts, and then he goes, oh, well, it was the spell check. Of course I know. I'm a nerd too, Jim. It was the spell check.
He also said that he was laying in bed. So I was laying in bed.
Like, oh, what are you going to do?
Yeah, you can't spell when you're laying in bed.
No, when you're laying in bed, there's no way.
Point. Yeah.
Then you're at the mercy of that aggressive spell check.
We should call him right now.
Very
man.
proactive. That spell check.
Hey, he's on the set. Don't bother him.
Oh, that's right. He's on the set. He's on the set.
Oh, she's stupid.
God damn, man.
Well, she called Tribeca Films and tell them you have a guy in your cast that can't spell.
Get him fired.
So.
I'm smart too, dude. I'm smart too. I'm not dumb like everyone thinks.
Dude, you know what, dude? Passed over, dude.
I'm finished.
You know what, dude? You're so schmarmy. You're spelling the words right. What are you, queer?
Spelling. That's his thing is the fat consonants.
Yeah.
It's just the
Spelling.
so. He just spits out his consonants.
Oh, man. Spell. Just because you can spell.
So totally dissected his speech. That's fantastic.
Spelling, dude.
Fucking. I got a fucking pencil and I wrote fucking. What are you doing? What are you emphasizing? What feeling are you emphasizing?
Fuck, man.
The visual of you turning down the radio for your daughters.
Oh, well, I always want to listen to this show, but I drive my daughters to school, and I'm always riding the volume. But with him, it was just, and sometimes I let it go.
Yeah,
the curses in the world. I don't, I do it for a living, so I don't mind my girls know it earlier than a lot of kids their age. But that was, Jesus, there's no call for that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. It's not even that it's like offensive.
You got to know when to use
no
those
sense.
words, right? Fucking.
Because even when he confused Colin with Bill Burr, he's like, cocksucker. He couldn't just say Bill. It was Colin. He's like, fucking cocksucker.
That's how he spells the name Bill.
If you had the iPhone.
That's what he
It's
does.
because he's so insecure, he doesn't think he exists if he's not making a big explosive noise. He can't just go anyway, so here's how I feel, because he feels like he's shrinks into nothing.
Poor Bobby.
So he's gotta talk like this and say fucking in order to feel like he's registering and feel like he's moving the needle on life at all. Otherwise he's gonna kill himself.
That poor
Quiet is terrifying to me.
I wish he was still here.
No, and I explain to my kids how, in New York, the audiences are harder in a whole other way. In Boston, it's like you're going to get your ass kicked and people are going to scream. But here, they're just deathly, intelligently quiet. It's unnerving when you come from Boston. And so when a guy like him comes, and I described a guy like Bobby sputtering and cursing on stage, and New Yorkers just cringing, going, what's this guy doing? And his face is turning red. His fucking now bald face is turning red. And he's trying to
any place with
spin on the mic.
any kind of literacy is going to upset Bob.
Well, he also pauses to fucking, and cursing is a way of pausing because he's too stupid to collect a lot of thoughts in a row. He picks them up piecemeal as he's going. And you know what, dude? Fucking, and as he's doing that, he's thinking next, please, next, please, next.
Stuff to come into my brain.
He can't put silence between words.
Oh my
so then,
God,
instead of going, so then, and that's again
A low
perfect exact opposite of Patrice, who could command, and then he'd talk, and then it'd be quiet, and you'd wait for him.
Yeah, yeah.
But Bobby's like, yes, that a fucking. I went to the damn fucking cocksucking. These are all him trying to think of what
those
comes
are pauses.
next.
It's the equivalent.
Those are supposed to be pauses.
It's the equivalent of ... on paper.
Oh, dude,
No silence between words and no air between bites.
No. God, thanks for the laugh.
Policy.
No.
Patrice was not afraid of that silence, too, yeah.
No, that's what was so...
That's a talent.
He would just quiet.
Yep.
No, and then he had a fastball. Like, he could do that, and then when he'd get on a roll about something, I mean, he was a very... I love... One thing I love about stand-up since I started loving it is how it works, like, musically, you know? How somebody works the mic and sounds.
Like a rhythm?
Yeah, and he had this great way of doing that he would start by just talking about something, introducing the subject, make people even a little unnerved by how uninterested he is and fucking standing there and doing a big performance. And then he would start getting excited about something, and then he'd start, and then his voice would go up to that raspy register, and he'd start feeling it. And then the place is rolling, and he'd rock. You know, it was just
it had a great dynamic to the whole thing.
That's what he was starting to figure out. Because he was on stage, he was funnier in here than he was on stage for a long time, and he was just, I think, it takes until you're in your late 30s, 40s to suddenly turn into, I can fucking do anything I want up here.
I think that
he just got there.
There was probably a fear of starting slow, like starting with a basic conversation. And not this, you know, I got to grab their attention. I got to talk fast. I got to talk loud. Like just, like you said, this almost disinterested way he would introduce the subject, and then it would build. But to have the confidence to do that at first and not think you're going to lose the crowd.
What gets you finally to do it is when you get older, you just don't care. You really just don't give a shit. I actually don't mind if your life stinks up.
Fuck it.
I went to the. I disagree. You need a good icebreaker.
Shecky Quinn over there.
I went to have an icebreaker.
You gotta have a good starter.
I went to the taping, and I don't know if it made the DVD, but just like what you're saying, he came out and just checked out the room for like 5 minutes, and I'm sitting there,
huge amount of balls,
and I'm sitting there in the audience.
Huge.
I don't know.
I don't have those balls.
I don't know if they edited that out of the DVD. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah. And I'm sitting in my seat like, this is your fucking chance. Do something. But he had the confidence to just
well, you
take
get
it
the
all
crowd
in.
into your gear when you do that.
Yeah,
There was one guy who was great at that, but I don't know. I think he's long gone. But remember Jonathan Solomon?
Oh, yeah, Jonathan.
Ray J. Johnson.
Jonathan Solomon used to come on stage, and he had the first time I saw him, he had a tape recorder with him. And he came on stage, didn't say anything. He just came on stage, and he looked at the tape recorder to make sure it was running. And then he put it on the thing, and then kind of cleared his throat, looked around the room, and then started. And I was like, wow. But he did that every night. After I saw him a few times, like he always starts by pretending he's not sure of his recorder.
Right.
Like, I don't even need to look at you people yet.
Right.
And it would be like, at first you go, what a dick. But then you go, I guess this is what he does. As soon as he gets one laugh, he's bought credibility for that pace.
It is almost like rebooting the crowd, you know? You kind of,
forget
here's
that last
my
guy.
pace, right?
Doesn't matter how high energy he was.
Right, fuck him.
John Joseph just did 3 songs. And now you're all going to watch me fiddle with my Panasonic micro recorder.
I'm going to say another guy that used to do that, and I'm waiting for my trashing.
Okay.
But Ray Romano would go on at the end of a show, everybody's hot.
Yeah.
And he'd go on and be like, the whole crowd's like, oh, this fucking asshole talking about his fucking family. And by the end of that set, they'd be like, they'd fucking get him right into his energy.
Yeah. You got to bring him into your wheelhouse, Carl.
Into your wheelhouse. That's a good word, Jim.
We have Bob Kelly on the phone.
Oh, shit. Hey, Bobby. Bobby, we were just talking about you.
Hey, guys, I know. I hate everyone in that. And fuck you, Louie.
Yeah, you've been jerking off to this the whole time. You love being talked about.
You stinky red-headed fucking piece of shit.
There goes with the fucking again.
Why would it hurt my feelings that my hair is red? It's been that my whole life.
Exactly.
It's the only thing you can come up with. You don't even have like a unique.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't say anything about how you look or just your basic.
You said his bald face.
Hardware.
You did say his bald face.
Well, after like a long, other acute.
And you say you didn't like me. Fuck you.
I didn't say I don't like you.
Yeah, fuck you.
I didn't
Fuck you,
one time say I don't like you. That's
fuck
what
you,
heard.
Louie, with your 2 legs and your goddamn toes.
Fuck you. And I hope your kids are listening. Fuck them too.
Okay.
Bobby.
I brought him into the conversation.
And he just hung up on that one.
He said, I hope your kids are listening. Fuck them.
That's right.
Damn.
Wow.
I know you're listening too now, you idiot.
Right now, what he's doing. Right now, he's walking away, putting his phone, and he's trying to pull up his pants like a fat man does when he walks.
You have no way. Bill Frawley trying to pull his pants up the bottom half of the egg of his body. And they got nowhere to hang.
There's no friction there.
No, there's nowhere for them to hook onto.
Yeah.
You just got to pull them so tight that there's a belt mark in his fucking non-waist.
He probably wrote out that rant just so, because we were just making fun of how he talks. He probably was reading it from a piece of paper. And that's all he got, so that's why he hung up.
Yeah, nothing else.
And he spelled red hair H-A-R-E.
Want to take a quick break?
Yeah, I got to piss badly.
Just for live read purposes. But Louis C.K., we got Colin, Quinn, Jim Florentine, Kurt Metzger, Joe DeRosa, and David Tell just showed up. So.
Okay, where's Amy?
Where did Amy go?
She left, I think.
Why'd she leave? What?
She got pissed off. She told me you guys had to shit out of
She had something to do?
Yeah.
What'd she have to do?
I don't know what she had to do.
She had nothing to do.
None of your fucking business.
But she's lying. You
She
don't
might
lie
have to do another radio interview here. I think that's where she went.
Really?
All right, she'll probably come back.
Probably
to
doing
a
a
woman's station.
I hope so.
The Woman's Network.
Talk about their vaginas, periods.
Quick break and we'll continue.